Hey everyone, and welcome back to a new tutorial around landing a plane. In this case, I'm using the A350. Okay, this is a plane from Flight Factor with lots of fans, but I'd say many detractors, and mainly just because one reason. The reason given is that, oh, you need to enter manually your seeds and stars. So I've got good news, guys. Yes, you have to enter manually seats and stars. And why? Because you are lazy. Okay? So when you stop being lazy, when you really start enjoying, look the wheels on this plane. They are fabulous. So the textures from the outside, I think they are just simply gorgeous. Okay, just only for it deserves the investment. Okay? So yes, you need to enter the seeds and stars manually. And there's something wrong? No, in my view, no. And in fact, that's one of the things that I really love and enjoy more about this plane. Why? Because it allows me to fly it manually. If you are preparing, let's say, for a flight, as I've just done, which is the landing that I'm recording here on this tutorial, from Beijing to Madrid, it was I think 11 hours and a half. Okay. Uh, so what do I do in 11 hours and a half? Enjoy a lot and relax sometimes. Okay. So the enjoyment starts with entering these seats manually. Why? Because it will allow me after to depart, to take off with this plane. Let me just be sure that it's not running too much because I want to, yeah, we've already started our descent. The first thing is that uh, it will allow you to fly this plane manually. Okay, on 12 hours or 5 hours or 3 hours, you've got enough time to be bored. Okay, mainly when the weather will be fine, so you can just go and have a small sleep. But if you schedule your flight plan in enough advance, let me check if I had the flight plan here. Okay, so this is the first thing that I did for my flight plan. Coming down and checking the weather. Okay, where would I expect a bad weather? So the departure seemed pretty good. Okay, just only when I was arriving into Ukraine, more or less, I had sandstorms and much more while I was landing. So it means that if you schedule your flight in advance, you can schedule also yourself your resting time. Okay, during that time, yes, this is a good plane for lazy people. You can just set up the autopilot, go to sleep, or just sit and see how beautiful it is flying. Because that's what it seems that everyone is doing while they are using simulators, not learning how to fly an airplane, not learning how to enter the procedures, not learning how to fly procedures, just clicking on play, sit, and look at the aircraft. Sorry, but you are lazy bastards. Okay, so weather. Then the second tip about entering seeds and stars. In this case, this seed only had 2 points. So the flight plan would be giving me seed Kilo Mike, I think it was a 3-1 Delta. Okay, departing from the 3-6 right, this was 3-6 left. And there's only one point in the middle, which is this one. The next one was this. So this is the only thing that I had to enter on my flight plan manually. Guys, the real pilots do enter all of this flight plan manually, with all the constraints, with all the anything. They have to enter it manually and they do not complain. And you, fucking lazy bastards, complain because you have to enter sometimes 3, 4, or even 5 fixes manually in your flight plan. You are lazy. You don't know how to enjoy this hobby. I'm sorry. So how to do it? Navigraph charts, show waypoints. Okay, there we go. Here we've got this one. If we want to do the same for the star, which was more cumbersome, it was longer. Okay, I can overlap my chart in theory. Yes, here it goes. Okay, it was the Barcelona to Juliet. So the last fix in my flight plan was from Barahona. As you can see here, there are many other fixes that I should enter manually in the flight plan. When I did it before the bad weather really started around the peninsula in Spain. So while I was around here, Switzerland, I started entering my star manually. So what I did after? Fly it manually because I knew it. Because I was typing it. When you type something, when you write something, you will never forget it. Okay? So you know exactly at which point, at which speed, at what height you need to be, and then you again enjoy flying the airplane. You already had 10 hours to fly this airplane in using the autopilot. Okay, the tip is exactly the same. So let's come into, don't know, this fix here, which is a D34.2, which is the one that you will see on the charts. How can we identify this one? Click on show waypoint labels, and then you'll see that all these fixes can be entered manually on the FMC. Okay, so D2972 ban, which is the VOR in Barahona, becomes ban 30. Okay, sometimes what happens is in the FMC you will see 2 or 3 points. In that case, you need just to select the latitude, the one that corresponds to the latitude that you are flying, and that will make your day. And just check that the time where you'll be in the next waypoint, it's close to the previous one. So if here you were at I don't know, 1050, here you should be at around 1051, 1052. Okay, if you've selected another band 30, which is in Russia, of course, instead of 1022, you'll be there at 15 or 16. Okay, 5 hours later. Doesn't make any sense. So that's easy to locate those fixes. Next purpose of the video, let's come back into here. It's land. Okay, I'd say that I'm going to divide that into 4 main sections. Section 1, just be sure that I'm recording because I've tried, yes, so it's recording. Okay, first one, it's to know what's your approach speed. Okay, you can find it in here. Let me come. You need to understand your planes, okay? And you need to understand what you are doing. So in this case, we've got 4 different speeds. Open flaps, 0.1 at 187. And I mean the, performance for approach page, 187. Slats, which would be flaps 2 at 166. Flaps at 0.3 at 152. And that gives us a reference for approach of 137 knots. Okay, with full flaps it would become 132. So that's our final approach speed, 137. To that 137, usually what we would do is adding 5 knots. Okay, so 137 plus 5 would become 142, and then we need also to know the wind component in the airport that we are going to land. In this case, we had a 6 knots, I think it was 7 or 8 knots blowing from the northeast. Okay, so this is the runway, let me see, yes, 32. So to that 6 knots, you divide that into 2, and then these 3 additional knots, it's what you add. So that gives you more or less an speed for approach of 145 knots. Okay, so that's the speed that you should maintain once you've once you've intercepted the glide slope. Okay, as soon as you are in that speed, the best, unless the ATC tells you to keep a different one. Because as much as control you've got your plane in speed, the smoother and better will be your transition into the decision height, which we are going to see really quick. Okay, so at this stage, one thing, sorry, not that view, the airplane is pointing down. Okay, if we look at the horizontal line, the nose is lower than the bottom. Okay, because we are descending. I've seen many people with the plane descending as if it was hanging from a rope. That makes not much sense, and you can have serious accidents. At least you will be in a simulator, and probably as you are lazy, you don't care. Okay, you will click on replay. So that's the first thing. keep your attitude going down. You can see that here, okay? I'm pointing down at around -1, -2 degrees, okay? The height of the ground in Madrid airport in Barajas, it's 2,000 feet. I think it's 1998 to be exact. Okay, let's say it's 2,000 feet. There are some decision heights that we need to start considering. First one would be this 1,000. Okay, uh, avoid the approach if at 1,000 you are at around 170 knots or something like that, because your airplane will be really difficult to maneuver and land it at that speed. Okay, let's continue. The next decision point will be at around 200, 250, depending on the chart, which is where if you don't have your your runway inside, you should reject the landing and yeah, proceed for a missed approach. Okay, let's go back. You see, plane still pointing down. There's no reason to be nervous. Just continue. Okay. The threshold in this runway is around here. Okay. So this is just runway threshold. It's just only used to take off because Madrid is a hub used internationally and lots of long hauls flights are departing from here. So they need a very long runway. Let's continue. You see more or less altitude it's 800 feet, descent 42, usually around 40. Each plane has more or less an indicative, don't know, the Zibo is around 45 to 50. That's where I feel comfortable to keep my approach speed. In this one it's more around 40 to 45. Okay, you see as I reduce the speed because I noticed that I started to go up. Okay, 200. At that point this will change to land. Okay, because that's the decision that I've taken at the decision altitude. Okay, let me go a little bit back. Okay. Okay, we are at around 80. At this height, another something really nice is happening that you should understand, which is called ground effect. Okay, just read only this paragraph, and I'm going to explain you. Really, what happens is that the draft that we've got underneath the wings will make the plane to float. This happens usually below the half of the length of the aircraft. So it means this aircraft, let's go back to the aircraft, it has a width or a length in the wings are 66-meter wide. Okay, look just at this. Let's go and see this up. So it's almost the whole width of the runway in Madrid, and Madrid has one of the widest runways in the world. Okay, around 110 meters or something like that. It's huge. The wings, so half of it would become 30, so at around 100 feet, okay, 30 meters, it becomes more or less 100 feet. So at around 100 feet, the ground, yes, forgot the name, the ground effect will start impacting the airplane. It means that it wants to float. It will try to avoid to land, but still our purpose is landing. So this is the point where lots of people start feeling that while they are landing, and they start increasing the nose. The only thing that will happen is because at that point, like the ground is rejecting the plane to land, what you are going to start is initiate your flare, and finally you'll go up. And then when you're at around 50 or 40 or 60 feet, you will notice that the engines have been cut off and then you fall. That's one of the most common mistakes. Okay, so if you understand what's the ground effect and how it impacts your airplane, you'll be able to identify that altitude and continue after that 100 feet in this case to continue with the nose pointing down. 900 feet of descent I've got at this stage. Okay? At 40, it's when the flare should start. Okay? And when you hear that 40, it changes on some planes. In the Airbus, more smaller are usually at around 30 feet. So 737 or an Airbus 319 or 320 at around 30 feet is when you should start your flare. Flare means that you start increasing your nose, but never beyond 5 degrees. Otherwise, again, the same will happen. The plane will try to climb at that speed and you'll lose your speed because usually you will have caught your engines trying to land and then you'll just both crash into the ground. Okay, so 40 meters, or sorry, 40 feet is when I start the flare, and you can see it here. Okay, and it's been a smooth movement. On the next 20 feet, usually you've already achieved that your plane will be at least flat. Okay, let's do this very slow. We will not be able to hear the 40, but that's more or less when I started hearing the 40. Okay, so here I should be at around, I guess, 50 feet. Let's go backwards. 40, flare, 20, 10, and this is what happens now. The plane starts floating. I don't care. I've already caught my engines, and I keep the same attitude. I don't try to push it up or push it down. I keep my attitude. This is what gives me the key. Also, you'll notice that during this flare, the speed, as I've already caught my engines, the speed decreases. Okay, very slow, and that's what will happen. Yep, so if you understand the whole physics of the landing, it should be easy, guys. Okay. And then here we are, just in Madrid airport. Beautiful landing, which I'm going just to do it another more replay so you can see it from here. Okay. So speed, keep the nose down. 40 knots, start your flare, keep the nose, cut the engines, and let it go down. This is again the ground effect. Okay, doesn't want to go down. Just keep it. Open your spoilers, your reverse, and well, here we are, guys. Okay, so welcome to Madrid. I hope that you've enjoyed this lesson. Speak soon. Bye. Oh, by the way, subscribe, leave comments. That makes me happy. Cheers. Bye.